Okay, on to lesson 2.09, the surface area and volume of cylinders, part 2. Don't forget your course and section number with all communication. On this lesson, all we're going to do is develop and use the formula for the volume of a cylinder. Here's the pictures again. Right cylinder, oblique cylinder. Remember, your obliques are always leaning, like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I just went ahead and put the labels up here again to help you out where the radius is. Remember though, if they give you diameter, you have to divide that number by 2. Wanted to remind you where the height is, and this is for a right prism, and that the bases are always your circles. Okay, here is the volume, is the number of cubic units in the interior of a 3D object. Here's the basic shortcut formula. Volume equals capital B times H. The capital B just means the area of the base, and this base happens to be a circle, so pi r squared is how you find the area of that base. Remember that exact means leaving it in terms of pi. Went ahead and labeled the 3 as my radius, the 6 is my height. Here's the shortcut formula. I just replace that B with pi r squared. Then I plug and chug. I put the radius in of 3 and the height of 6, and then I just do the math. Now remember, it said exact, so I'm going to leave it in terms of pi first. Well, I did 3 squared is 9, and then 9 times 6 is 54. Leaving it in terms of pi, inches cubed, and this is the exact, oh, that should say volume, not surface area, but this is the exact volume in terms of pi. And then I'm going to go ahead and say 54 multiplied by pi. That gives me approximately 169.6 inches cubed. This is the approximate volume of the cube. And see how I put the little squiggly equal sign in there. Here's another example. It says find the approximates and the exact. So here's my formulas. I plugged in 4 for my radius, 28 for my height. I'm probably going to go ahead and say pi, and say what 4 squared is. There we go. So for my exact volume, I'm just going to say 16 times 28 gives me 448 pi inches cubed, or that should be kilometers. I really wasn't paying attention when I put this together, it seems like. So this is going to be in terms of pi. So notice the equal sign, so that means it's exact. When I say 448 multiplied by pi, I get 1,407.4 inches cubed. Notice this is an approximation, and notice how I listed them both up here. This is an oblique. This is probably where I actually remember working this problem. Here my height is 18, my radius is 42, so I'm going to have to, my diameter is 42, so I'm going to have to divide that by 2 to get 21. So I got 21 squared times 18. 21 squared is 441. So first I want to find the exact, so I'm going to say 441 times 18. That gives me 7,938 pi inches cubed, or that should say miles, sorry. So this is going to be the exact volume of this oblique cylinder. Then I say 7,938 multiplied by pi is going to give me 24,938 miles cubed. This is going to be my approximate volume of the cylinder. And I recorded them both up here so you could see this is exact, this is the approximate. This lesson was pretty short because we just get really good at working with volume. The volume of a cylinder with the base area B and height H is V equals base times H. Just remember that I replaced that B with pi r squared. And something they talked about in the LMS is by Cavalieri's principle, the volume formula for cylinders can be applied to right and oblique cylinders. So it doesn't matter if it's leaning or not, we can still use that formula. Once you get finished with this video, you need to work your lesson in the LMS, read up on it in the reference guide, and please work these practice problems in the problem set because those are going to best prepare you for Quiz 2.09. And if you have any questions after you're working those problems, please let me know so I can help you before you take the quiz. And again, make note of any general questions you may have when you attend CC next Thursday. Thank you for listening.